Snoop Dogg steps onto the stage amidst roaring applause, his signature swagger apparent even under the bright lights of the packed arena. The bass reverberates through every seat, and fans sing along to every lyric as if it were their own story, unfolding. In the front row, a young man named Marcus stands with his cane, his eyes covered by dark glasses, swaying gently to the beat despite not being able to see the spectacle. He's been a die-hard fan since childhood, memorizing albums and interviews by heart, and tonight is the realization of a lifelong dream. As Snoop launches into his first verse, Marcus sings every word, his face lit up with a smile that radiates pure joy. Backstage, Snoop's team monitors the performance, aware of the energy pulsing through the crowd. They've noticed Marcus earlier, guided to a special spot by ushers who recognized his unique situation. Marcus's excitement is palpable. He's trembling with anticipation because, for him, music is more than sound. It's a lifeline. Snoop's eyes flicker to the edge of the stage where Marcus stands, and he makes a mental note to meet this fan after the show. The set continues seamlessly, hit after hit, each song drawing louder cheers, each beat pounding like a shared heartbeat between artist and audience. Midway through the performance, Snoop pauses to talk to the crowd. "Make some noise for all my veterans out here. All my students, all my hardworking folks grinding every day," he says. The crowd breaks out in unified applause, but Marcus remains motionless, listening intently. Snoop notices this and squints, trying to focus on the dark silhouette in the front row. "I see you, my man. Your energy is undeniable," Snoop declares, pointing toward Marcus. The audience gasps when they realize who he's addressing. Many recognize Marcus as the blind fan who'd made headlines after posting a heartfelt cover of Gin and Juice online. Snoop beckons for Marcus to come up, and ushers quickly guide him toward the stage. The arena erupts, chanting Marcus's name, an uplifting affirmation that transcends sight. Marcus moves carefully, using his cane to find each step until Snoop places an arm around him, guiding him center stage. "What's your name, brother?" Snoop asks, his voice warm and genuine. Marcus replies quietly, "My name is Marcus. I've wanted to do this since I was a kid." Snoop smiles broadly and leans close so the mic can catch Marcus's voice, ensuring the entire audience hears him. Snoop points to the band and cues the chords for "Beautiful." As the intro plays, Marcus's voice, slightly shaky, begins the first verse. Though he can't see the crowd, he feels the love emanating from every direction, each shout and clap a pulse against his skin. Snoop stands back slightly, watching Marcus pour his heart into the performance, rapping and singing verses he'd practiced long ago. The lights dim just enough that the focus is entirely on Marcus's presence. When Marcus finishes, the crowd's roar drowns out the final notes, but Marcus, with eyes closed and head tilted back, feels every ounce of that affirmation. After the song, Snoop wraps an arm around Marcus. "You just stole the show, my brother," he says, voice thick with sincerity. The audience chants Marcus's name again, and he looks towards Snoop, tears brimming. Snoop reaches into his pocket, pulls out a crisp $100 bill, and hands it to Marcus. "Take this and get yourself something nice. But remember, the best music money can't buy is the love you just felt." Marcus nods, clutching the bill as if it were a priceless treasure. Backstage after the show, Snoop and Marcus sit side by side on a plush leather couch. Snoop offers Marcus a bottle of water and asks about his life. Marcus shares how music had guided him through dark times, how he found solace when his sight faded, and how he taught himself to rap by memorizing Snoop's lyrics. Snoop listens, genuinely moved, and praises Marcus's determination. "You are living proof that when you lost your sight, you gained a vision," Snoop says, placing his hand on Marcus's shoulder. Word of this encounter spreads quickly online. Videos circulate showing Marcus's performance and Snoop's generosity. Fans from around the world flood social media with hashtags like #Snoop and Marcus and Music Sees All. Many share similar stories of how music carried them through hardship, feeling a renewed connection to Snoop's artistry. Official fan groups post messages praising Snoop's action, calling it a reminder that genuine kindness can still move mountains. The next day, news outlets catch wind of the story. A local radio station interviews Marcus, who humbly deflects praise and thanks Snoop. "He's my hero," Marcus says softly. And now I feel like I did a little bit for him too. He adds that tonight, he'll play his favorite album, Snoop's Doggy Style, full blast, letting the bass vibrate through his chest. Meanwhile, Snoop prepares to return to his tour bus, reflecting on how a single night could change 2 lives. He tweets, "Music is a two-way street. Thanks for showing me love, Marcus. Keep shining." The morning after the concert, Snoop revisits the video clips online, watching Marcus's performance once more. He notices nuances he hadn't seen live. Marcus's subtle head nods, his smile as he moved to the rhythm, and how he closed his eyes to feel every beat. Snoop feels a surge of pride and wants to ensure Marcus receives more than just a moment on stage. He wants to nurture his talent. He texts his manager saying, "Let's find a studio session for Marcus this week." Meanwhile, Marcus wakes, up to thousands of notifications on his phone. He blinks at the screen, trying to make sense of the morning's flurry. Text messages from friends, family members posting the video, and invitation after invitation to appear on talk shows. He gently sets the phone down, overwhelmed by it all. Despite the excitement, he knows that connecting with Snoop inside a studio would be a chance to turn performance into purpose. Later that day, Snoop's team reaches out to a recording studio in LA that specializes in accessible music technology. They secure a private session for Marcus, complete with Braille-annotated lyric sheets and equipment to help him navigate the control board. On the day of the session, Snoop personally picks Marcus up from his apartment, greeting him with a dap and a wide grin. "Ready to make history, he jokes, catching himself. Both burst into laughter. At the studio, Marcus is introduced to an engineer who guides him through Braille-labeled buttons and large, tactile faders. Snoop watches with admiration as Marcus learns the layout, pressing each control with confidence. They decide to record a reinterpretation of "Drop It Like It's Hot," with Marcus adding his own verses about overcoming darkness. Snoop encourages him. "You got your own flow, let it shine." The beat starts. Marcus steps up to the mic. His voice, amplified and crisp, fills the booth as he nails the opening lines. Snoop stands behind him, humming the hook softly, providing backing support. As they reach the second verse, Marcus's nostrils flare, and he closes his eyes, fully immersed in the moment. The engineer watches in awe, having never witnessed such synergy in a recording session. After the first take, Snoop and Marcus listen to the playback. Marcus's lyric book trembles in his hands as he follows his words. "That's fire, bro," Snoop says, snapping his fingers. "Let's lay another takedown, a little smoother this time, but keep that raw feeling." Marcus nods, wiping sweat from his brow despite the cool studio air. They run it again, this time nailing every cue. In the control room, Snoop reminisces about his early days in the studio, struggling to find his voice. He leans over to Marcus and says, "I remember thinking the world was too bright sometimes, too loud. Maybe you feel the same. But music is freedom. No sight needed." Marcus smiles, comforted by the validation of a legend. He takes a breath and mumbles, "Thank you, Snoop." They end the session with hugs and fist bumps. Snoop promises to release the track on his next compilation, and to donate proceeds to a charity that supports music programs for visually impaired youth. Marcus thanks the engineer before leaving, already thinking about the next song he wants to record. He steps outside the studio smelling like stale coffee and success. On social media, Snoop posts a snippet of the studio session, a grainy shot of Marcus rapping into the microphone, Snoop nodding approvingly. The comments section explodes with praise. Fans shout, "Legendary," and "This is what music is about." For Marcus, it proves that dreams are audible, tangible, and real. For Snoop, it reaffirms that mentorship is as important as music sales. That night, Snoop pitches the idea of a mini-documentary about their collaboration. Marcus hesitates, wondering if his shyness will hold him back. Snoop gently reassures him. "We'll keep it real. No glitz, no glam. Just the journey. It's bigger than us." Marcus agrees, feeling both nervous and exhilarated, ready to continue their shared beat. Days later, Snoop's tour bus pulls into San Diego for an exclusive show. He invites Marcus to spend the afternoon backstage, giving him a glimpse into the world behind the curtain. As they walk past roadies loading crates of equipment, Marcus uses his cane to guide him, but Snoop's arm is always there to steady him. The backstage area buzzes with chatter. Security guards, dancers, and tech crew all greet Marcus warmly once they learn who he is. In the dressing room, Snoop leads him to a cozy corner filled with plush couches and framed gold records. "This is my sanctuary," Snoop says, kicking off his sneakers. Marcus runs his hand along the arm of a couch, absorbing the textures. Photos of Snoop with other iconic artists line the walls: Tupac, Dr. Dre, Pharrell. Yet the most prominent frame is a candid shot of Snoop hugging his grandmother. Marcus smiles, recognizing the same love that brought them together. On a long wooden table, glittering water bottles and protein shakes await. Snoop hands Marcus a water and says, "Drink up. Tonight's gonna be special." They chat about music production, childhood memories, and faith. Snoop opens up about how his grandmother introduced him to gospel music, how he learned to find his own voice in church. Marcus relates, describing how he learned to see the world through sound, birds chirping, footsteps, laughter. A sudden commotion at the entrance announces the arrival of a local radio DJ. She's holding up a mic and asks Snoop for a quick interview. Snoop signals Marcus to join him. As Snoop speaks into the mic about his upcoming set list and new projects, he gestures to Marcus. "This is Marcus, my man. I met him at the last show. He's an inspiration." The DJ turns to Marcus. Through the headphones, Marcus hears her say, "How does it feel to have Snoop Dogg by your side tonight?" Marcus swallows and leans in. "It's surreal," he replies quietly but clearly. His voice resonates with emotion that even the DJ can feel. On the monitors, fans watching the live stream break into applause. Several commenters comment, "Big respect," and "Keep shining." Snoop watches, nodding approvingly, proud to see Marcus representing their bond in the spotlight. After the interview, a security guard offers Marcus a seat on a plush couch. Snoop retrieves an acoustic guitar leaning against the wall and begins strumming a gospel melody. He hums along, then sings a few lines about hope and resilience. "You feel that?" he asks Marcus, sliding the guitar toward him. Marcus places his fingers on the strings. Guided by Snoop's hands, he strums a chord. The raw vibration sends a thrill through him. Snoop says, "Music's not just beats and rhymes. It's something you feel in your bones." He steps aside and encourages Marcus to sing something. Marcus closes his eyes and delivers a few lines of the chorus from Beautiful. His voice shakes at first, but as he continues, it steadies, gaining confidence. Snoop smiles, mouthing, "That's it, bro," as he watches Marcus find his rhythm. Crew members pause in their work to listen. Some wipe tears. Others record the moment on their phones. The energy backstage shifts. This is no longer routine. It's a reminder of why they all do what they do. When Marcus finishes, Snoop wraps an arm around him. "You've got that gift," he says. "Don't let nobody tell you otherwise." As showtime approaches, Snoop and Marcus head toward the stage entrance. Snoop places a guiding hand on Marcus's back. Marcus tightens his grip on the cane, but stands tall. "Remember," Snoop whispers, "tonight, we lift spirits." Marcus nods. Together, they step into the corridor lined with red velvet curtains, ready to face the crowd once more, united by music, faith, and unwavering support. The lights dim and a roar rises from the audience as Snoop enters, microphone in hand. Behind him, the band cues the opening chords to "Drop It Like It's Hot." Marcus stands just off stage, listening, feeling every note as if it were a heartbeat. He tightens his grip on Snoop's hand, ready for their cue. Snoop looks toward him with that silent nod that says, "It's your moment, brother." As the verse ends, Snoop steps forward and announces, "I got a special brother up here with me tonight. Give it up for Marcus." The crowd erupts, sensing the magic of what's to come. Snoop's silhouette prompts them. Every fan leans closer, curious, phones raised to capture history. Snoop helps Marcus to the center of the stage, removing Marcus's sunglasses and revealing his eyes glistening under the stage lights. The audience hushes, recognizing the vulnerability in those eyes. A soft spotlight shines on Marcus. He raises his hand, acknowledging the crowd's energy. Snoop cues the intro for "Drop It Like It's Hot," but they quickly switch gears. Snoop strums an acoustic guitar riff instead, surprising everyone. The drums kick in, gentle but steady, forming a backdrop for Marcus's voice. He begins, "When the pimp's in the crib, What?" The crowd goes wild, instantly caught up in his confident delivery. Marcus's verse continues, adding personal lyrics about how music saved him, how he felt lost in darkness until the beat found him. Snoop's harmony underscores the chorus, "Sippin' on gin and juice." Synergy is palpable. Two voices from different worlds merging into one narrative of triumph. Backstage, dancers watch with tears in their eyes, moved by Marcus's authenticity. Midway through the performance, Snoop hands Marcus the mic solo. Marcus steps forward, lifting the mic to his lips. He raps about navigating life without sight, describing how each lyric painted pictures in his mind. He speaks of his grandmother's voice guiding him, of the cane tapping to the rhythm of his confidence. The crowd responds with chants of, "Marcus, Marcus," as he reaches the final line. The final chorus swells, and Snoop invites the crowd to join them. Thousands of voices blend together, creating a chorus of unity. Snoop places his hand on Marcus's shoulder, letting him feel the warmth of the crowd's energy. Marcus ends the song bending his knees, pressing his palms to the stage floor, an expression of love and gratitude. The audience leaps to their feet in a standing ovation, the stadium vibrating with applause. Backstage, they listen to the roar through the speakers. Snoop pulls Marcus away from the edge. "You just changed lives tonight," he whispers. Marcus's voice trembles as he replies, "You changed mine too." They embrace, and the crew offers congratulations, one by one, patting Marcus on the back. That night in the dressing room, Snoop plays the recording of the performance for Marcus. They listen together, absorbing the applause, the calls of encore, and the emotional resonance that vibrates through the track. Marcus runs his fingers over the speaker, feeling the echo as if it were a pulse. He smiles, realizing he's part of something much bigger than himself. As they exit the arena, fans line up to meet them, offering prayers, gratitude, and tears of their own. Marcus stands beside Snoop, letting each fan place a hand on his arm or lean in to hug him. In that moment, he understands Snoop's vision. Music doesn't need eyes. It needs hearts. News of their joint performance spreads globally, igniting a groundswell of support. Social media is flooded with tributes. Fans post videos of Marcus's verse, adding captions like "strength in every lyric" and "inspiration personified." The hashtag #JobbersMarcus on stage trends worldwide, joining Snoop Dogg in top charts. Marcus's phone buzzes continuously with messages from strangers who say he gave them hope in their darkest hours. Snoop watches the ripple effect and realizes that a single act of compassion can reverberate around the world. He texts his team, "Time to take this movement further." Within hours, they partner with a non-profit that provides musical instruments and accessibility training to visually impaired youth. Snoop pledges a portion of concert proceeds to fund programs in major cities, ensuring that kids like Marcus have the chance to chase their dreams. Meanwhile, Marcus grapples with the sudden attention. Old fears resurface: imposter syndrome, anxiety, and self-doubt. He calls Snoop late one night, voice cracking. "What if I can't do it again? What if this was just a fluke?" Snoop listens patiently, allowing silence to hang before responding. "Marcus, the world saw your heart tonight. Your fear won't define you. Your courage will." Those words offer Marcus reassurance, allowing him to breathe easier. A week later, Snoop surprises Marcus by inviting him to co-host a radio segment on a leading hip-hop station. They broadcast from the studio, discussing the importance of inclusion, representation, and accessibility in the music industry. Marcus speaks passionately about how he wants other blind or visually impaired individuals to see themselves reflected in hip-hop culture. Snoop adds commentary about dismantling stereotypes and making stages accessible to everyone. During a commercial break, the station manager informs them that listeners have donated thousands of dollars to the Music Accessibility Fund. The outpouring is overwhelming. A single caller says, "You two just changed how I see talent. Keep it coming." Another fan messages that she discovered her own love for rap because of Marcus's performance. The combined impact of one concert moment grows bigger than either Snoop or Marcus anticipated. That evening, Snoop takes Marcus to dinner at a modest, Family-owned soul food restaurant in Long Beach. Seated in a corner booth, they share fried chicken, collard greens, and sweet potato pie. Snoop leans in and says, "Remember how you said music was a lifeline? Tonight, you strengthened that line for so many." Marcus dips his fork into sweet potato mash and answers, "I feel like it's just the beginning." Back in his apartment, Marcus finds a package on his doorstep. Inside is a custom Braille embossed journal from Snoop, inscribed with, "Keep writing, keep singing, keep shining." He runs his fingers across the cover, smiling through tears. Within its pages, Marcus plans to write new lyrics, chart his journey, and chronicle dreams for the future. The next day, a documentary crew arrives to interview Marcus on his experiences. They film him navigating his apartment, reading and writing, lyrics in Braille, and practicing verses on his smartphone's voice note feature. He explains how music gave him purpose, how Snoop's mentorship offers a new path, and how he wants to pay the kindness forward by volunteering to teach rap workshops for visually impaired youth. Before they rap, Snoop calls to check in. Marcus answers, his voice brimming with gratitude. Snoop says, "This is bigger than me, bigger than you. It's a movement. Let's keep pushing." Marcus agrees, understanding that every beat, every lyric, and every shared stage moment can spark change far beyond the arena's walls. Despite the whirlwind of support, Marcus faces moments of insecurity. One morning, he wakes up feeling unable to write a single line. He stares at the blank page in his Braille journal, frustration welling. "Why can't I create?" he mutters to himself. The pressure to live up to everyone's expectations weighs heavily. He decides to call Snoop for guidance. Snoop answers, instantly picking up on the tension. Without hesitation, he says, "You're trying to run before you can walk, my brother. Real talk. Take a step back. Remember why you started. It wasn't for fame or money. It was because you loved the music." He pauses, letting the words sink in. Go back to the basics. Write for yourself first. Marcus breathes deeply and thanks him. He spends the day at a nearby park, letting the breeze guide him. He sits under a large oak, headphones on, listening to classic Snoop tracks. He hums melodies quietly, allowing inspiration to return naturally. By sunset, he's scribbling ideas, lines, about resilience, faith, and the power of community, his voice growing stronger with each Braille dot he presses. That evening, he shares his new verses with Snoop over a video call. Snoop listens, nodding slowly. "This is real, Marcus. These lines will move people because they come from your soul. Don't doubt that." Marcus smiles, feeling renewed. They talk about recording next week, planning to work on a song titled "Vision in the Dark," which speaks of inner sight and clarity. As they hang up, Marcus receives a text from his mother. "We are so proud of you. Remember, your worth isn't measured by views or likes." Marcus leans back, absorbing the reassurance. He realizes that external validation is fleeting. True conviction must come from within. He closes his eyes, letting gratitude fill him. The next day, Marcus volunteers at a local community center to lead a workshop for kids. Several of the children are visually impaired. Their eyes light up when they see him. He shares his journey, encouraging them to find their own voices. When one child timidly recites a few lines of rap, Marcus listens with attention, affirming each word. "That was dope. Keep going." The child beams, and an older student approaches Marcus afterward, hugging him. Marcus feels a shift. The imposter syndrome begins to ebb as he witnesses real impact. His doubts dissipate seeing the joy on those children's faces. He remembers Snoop's words, "Your gift is meant to be shared." He spends the evening refining his lyrics, each word infused with newfound clarity and purpose. Meanwhile, Snoop is in the studio compiling footage for a special release that includes clips from their first concert, the recording session, and Marcus's community work. He adds voiceover. True success isn't dollars, it's lives changed. He plays the track "Vision in the Dark," amazed at how Marcus's story transcends language. Finally, as the song's production wraps, Snoop invites Marcus to Houston for a surprise performance. He knows that the next step requires keeping momentum alive. Marcus packs his bag, feeling excitement swirl within him. Despite lingering fears, he's ready. Not just for the stage, but for the chance to keep spreading that vision. Snoop's private jet lands in Houston late in the afternoon. Marcus steps off, blinking in the Texas sun, as Snoop greets him with a hug. "Welcome to H-Town," Snoop says, his smile wide. They head to a community radio station for a live interview followed by a small performance. Marcus is nervous. Different. City. Different crowd. But Snoop's presence steadies him. At the station, they enter a cozy studio covered in graffiti-style murals of legendary artists. The host, a radio personality with a booming laugh, welcomes them. "Snoop Dogg, it's always an honor. And Marcus, your story has touched our listeners." They settle into the mics. Snoop introduces the concept. "Today, we're continuing the journey, showing how music can connect us beyond sight." Marcus shares his experience, losing vision, discovering rap, and how Snoop's invitation changed his life. The host asks, "How do you see music when you can't see the stage?" Marcus responds, "I feel it. Vibrations, crowd energy, Snoop's presence guiding me. Music paints pictures in my mind." The host leans back, impressed, and tells listeners to stay tuned for the surprise performance. They head to a small, local theater, just a few hundred seats. Snoop signals Marcus to the stage. "Tonight we drop something special," Snoop announces. The crowd roars. The band starts playing Vision in the Dark. Marcus steps forward and begins rapping. His verses, each line delivered with conviction. The audience snaps their fingers, feeling the authenticity. In mid-performance, Snoop steps aside, letting Marcus command the spotlight. He closes his eyes, sensing the energy, the audience's foot taps, the hum of the lights, the gentle sway. After the final chorus, Snoop joins him for the hook. As the last note hangs, the crowd leaps to their feet, standing ovation. Marcus's heart throbs as he feels the collective admiration. After the show, they visit a local school for visually impaired youth. Snoop and Marcus are greeted with cheers as they walk down the hallway. The principal, a tall woman with a warm smile, leads them to a classroom filled with eager faces. Snoop places a hand on the white cane of a student named Jay Sean, asking him about his favorite song. The room bursts into excitement. Snoop holds a mini workshop. He demonstrates how he writes lyrics, how he crafts beats, and encourages the students to try. Marcus offers one-on-one coaching, guiding them through constructing verses. One student, Ariana, shyly recites a line she wrote, voice wavering. Snoop leans in, nods, and replies, "That's the realest thing I heard today." Ariana's confidence brightens instantly. Before leaving, Snoop and Marcus give each student a small gift, a custom USB drive loaded with accessible music software and tutorial videos. Each drive is engraved with the words, "Music sees all." The students hug them, pressing their faces close. Marcus feels his eyes fill with tears again, moved by how far he's come and how many lives he's touching. On the plane ride back to LA, Snoop and Marcus sit side by side. Snoop looks at Marcus and says, "This is bigger than one city or one show. It's a movement." Marcus nods, exhausted but exhilarated. He knows that together, they've created something that echoes far beyond any single stage. They clasp hands, ready for whatever comes next. News of the Houston event spreads worldwide. International broadcasters run segments on Snoop and Marcus, highlighting how music transcends physical barriers. A BBC feature profiles their journey, interviewing fans in London who streamed the live performance. In Tokyo, a radio station invites Marcus for a virtual guest appearance, where Japanese listeners send recordings of their own musical tributes. Snoop's manager receives calls from festival organizers in Europe and Asia, asking if Marcus can join Snoop on international legs of the tour. Snoop contemplates logistics, flights, accommodations, accessibility services. But he's committed. He calls Marcus, "Pack your bags, team is working out the details. We're going global." Marcus's voice cracks with excitement and disbelief. Meanwhile, a major music tech company offers to sponsor Marcus with state-of-the-art Braille labeling tools, tactile mixers, and an upgraded home studio. They also propose a scholarship fund for visually impaired music students, with Snoop as the headliner speaker. Together, they formally establish Vision in the Dark Foundation, aimed at removing barriers for differently abled musicians worldwide. A month later, Snoop and Marcus land in London. The city's damp air hits them as they step off the plane. Marcus draws a deep breath, savoring the novelty. London crowds already chant their names as they arrive at a packed arena for a charity concert. Marcus feels the hum of anticipation, almost as intense as the first night in LA. They ascend backstage, greeted by local artists, eager to collaborate and learn from Marcus's journey. Before the show, Snoop inspects the stage layout, confirming that all tactile markers are in place for Marcus. He pulls Marcus aside. Remember, they might clap differently here. Rhythms vary country to country. Just feel the love. Marcus nods, setting him at ease. Snoop taps his shoulder. No matter where we are, music is home. On stage, Snoop introduces Marcus. The crowd, a diverse mix of nationalities, buzzes louder than Marcus has ever heard. Snoop cues, "Beautiful," and the band starts. Marcus shuts his eyes, attuned to the vibrations beneath his feet and the warmth of the audience's applause. He begins to sing, adjusting his volume to match the vast hall. The melody stretches across thousands of listeners. As the song crescendos, Marcus's voice resonates powerfully, transcending language barriers. The audience responds by waving arms in perfect rhythm, showing they understand even without knowing every word. Snoop plays harmonica behind him, adding a soulful layer. Together, they transform the classic song into a soulful anthem for unity, proving music's universality. After the performance, a local school for visually impaired children invites Marcus to speak via a live video link. He addresses eager young faces, some barely older than him. He shares his story, encouraging them to pursue their dreams relentlessly. Through tears and smiles, the children ask questions. How do you write lyrics? How do you stay confident? Marcus replies with heartfelt honesty, his words echoing around the world in that moment. In the green room, Snoop and Marcus watch video clips from the day's events. They see fans chanting Marcus's name in multiple languages, children dancing to his voice, and social media flooding with applause emojis. Snoop places a hand on Marcus's shoulder. You're rewriting what it means to be a rapper, my friend. Marcus glances up, tears brimming, thankful for this global stage and the chance to inspire countless others. They close out the evening by sharing a plate of fish and chips backstage, laughing at how Marcus initially thought it was literally fried chips for wearing sunglasses. The warmth of camaraderie fills the room as they plan the next stops: Berlin, Paris, Sydney. Each city a new chance to prove that sight isn't necessary to feel, move, or triumph in music. Months later, the Vision in the Dark Foundation holds its first gala in Los Angeles. The event is a heartfelt celebration of progress. Major donors, celebrity supporters, and families whose children have benefited gather under one roof. Snoop takes the stage first, delivering a speech about compassion, empathy, and the power of music to break down barriers. Marcus listens from backstage, wearing a well-tailored suit, feeling more confident than ever. Snoop introduces Marcus to address the audience. Using a lectern equipped with a braille display, Marcus begins his speech. He thanks everyone for their support, recalling the first time Snoop invited him on stage. He speaks of his grandmother's influence, of finding his voice in the darkness, and how every single person in that room can make a difference. Tears well in many eyes as Marcus's words resonate far beyond mere gratitude. Later, in a silent auction, attendees bid robustly on items like a signed Snoop Dogg guitar and a private jam session with a renowned producer. All proceeds go to providing musical instruments and accessibility equipment to visually impaired youth across the globe. Snoop watches bids soar past $10,000 on a single item, impressed by the generosity. He leans over to Marcus and says, "See, people want to invest in hope." After the formal program, there's a tribute concert featuring artists whose lives were touched by the foundation. Each performer dedicates their set to Marcus's story. As the final act, Snoop and Marcus take the stage together. Snoop strums an acoustic riff, and Marcus steps forward, microphone in hand, occupying the space with poise. They perform Vision in the Dark once more, this time with orchestral accompaniment. The symphony of strings elevates the song to new heights. Marcus's voice soars confidently, carrying over the lush arrangement. Snoop adds a spoken-word verse about unity and legacy. When the final chord fades, the audience rises in thunderous applause, standing ovation echoing through the hall. Marcus, overwhelmed, feels gratitude wash over him. He knows this moment encapsulates how far he's come. Later that night, as the gala winds down, Snoop and Marcus step outside onto the rooftop terrace. Los Angeles sprawls around them, lights twinkling like stars. Snoop lights a cigar and hands one to Marcus. "Smoke's not for everyone," Snoop says with a grin, "but tonight we celebrate everything." They lean against the railing, looking out at the city they've impacted. Marcus says, "I used to think darkness was the end, but now I see it's where vision begins." Snoop nods, taking a deep puff. "Exactly. You turned your challenge into your gift." They stand in companionable silence, absorbing the weight of the journey. The breeze carries distant sounds of laughter and music from the gala below, a testament to what they've built. Before they part ways, they make a pact to continue expanding the foundation's reach, to mentor new talent, and to remind the world that sight is merely one way of seeing. Marcus promises to write a memoir about his experiences, hoping to inspire future generations. Snoop pledges to keep using his platform for purpose, refusing to let the spotlight fade until every voice is heard. As dawn approaches, they shake hands and clasp forearms, a bond forged in compassion, creativity, and unwavering faith. Together, they step back inside, ready to face the next chapter. For Marcus and Snoop Dogg, this is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a legacy etched in sound, heart, and hope.